Hi, thank you for joining us today. We're celebrating Sigd, and we're very fortunate to have here today with us Naftali Aklum. We couldn't do this without the support of wonderful organizations like Herut and wonderful individuals such as Larry Shepard. So I want to definitely thank them and our promotional partners, the Simon Wiesenthal Center, Atlanta's JCRCA, the Consulate General of Israel to the Southeast region, JScreen, Congregation B'nai Torah, Hadassah, Chaya Evolve, Southern Jewish Life, Israel Insight, B'nai B'rith International, IBSI, the Institute for Black Solidarity with Israel, St. Louis Friends of Israel, Jewish Kids Groups, and of course, the wonderful Weber School and the Rams for Israel. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for tuning in from all over the world. I'm Cheryl Dorchinsky. I am the founding executive director for Atlanta Israel Coalition. And Naftali, if you could turn your camera on, love to have a chat with you. Hi.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom, and happy Sigd for everybody.
Thank you. Can you tell us about your background?
Yeah, well, I was born in Ethiopia in 1979, and I'm the youngest of 12 brothers and sisters. And my family were among the first group to do the journey from Ethiopia to Sudan and from Sudan to Israel. I came to Israel when I was 1 year old. One of the first city that received the Ethiopian Jews here in Israel was my city, the city of Beersheba down in the south. And today I'm a married man. I have a wife, a lovely wife with a beautiful daughter. And I'm giving lectures about the story of the Ethiopian Jewish community because I truly believe that it's about time that people here in Israel will know more about the Ethiopian Jewish community, and Jews all over the world will know the amazing story of the Ethiopian Jewish community.
Speaking of amazing story, you are a consultant on the Red Sea diving resort, right?
Yeah, so 3 years ago, I got a call from Gidi Raff, the director of the movie, The Red Sea Diving Resort. I know Gidi long time ago, and he told me, listen, we are making a movie about how the Mossad brought the Ethiopian Jews from Sudan to Israel, and I want you to be involved in that movie. So he offered me to be a consulate image for this movie, and it was a great experience to work with actors like Chris Evans, Ben Kingsley, Michael K. Williams, and to bring to the forefront from Hollywood the story of my community. And this movie released a year and a half ago on Netflix. It's still on Netflix. So if the people that participate in this event tonight didn't see the movie yet, so they can go to Netflix and watch it for free.
Wonderful. So you have a holiday coming up on Sunday, right? It starts on Sunday?
It's on Monday.
It's on Monday. I'm sorry. Does it start in the morning, evening, Monday?
So this coming Monday, we, the Ethiopian Jewish community, celebrating the Sigd holiday. Sigd, it's a holiday, it's a unique holiday for the Ethiopian Jewish community. And in Ethiopia, we used to celebrate this holiday 50 days after Yom Kippur. It's the same like we are celebrating Shavuot 50 days after Pesach. This holiday, it's a holiday that we reconnect with God. And in Ethiopia, every village with the Kesim is our spiritual leaders. We used to climb up to a high mountain, showing our face to Jerusalem. And it wasn't a happy day in Ethiopia. It was a day that we were fasting in the mountain, praying with the Torah, the Orit, and asking God one thing. to bring us back home to Zion. We, the Ethiopian Jews, had that dream for more than 2,500 years. And every year in the mountain, and why mountain? Because we wanted to feel that we are close to God. And today, thank God, God listened to our prayers. And we are here in Jerusalem, in Israel. Thank God.
Thank God.
And we are still celebrating this holiday today in Israel because we want to thank God for bringing us here. We appreciate what the government did and what the Navy and the Air Force did in order to bring us. But we giving our praise to God. He is the one that brought us here. And today in Israel, we're asking God different things. We're asking God in the holiday to bring peace to its people. Because unfortunately, in Israel, we have lots of problems within the society. New immigrants against old immigrants, Mizrahim, Ashkenazim, black and white. And we really ask God to bring peace to its people.
To unite everyone?
To unite, yeah, that's the most important thing, because unity is strength. And especially our country that have lots of enemies around us, and we have lots of nations that want to destroy us. If we will not be united, then how can we be strong? So this is, by the way, why I created my own project, Project Yerus. Project Yerus, it's a project that come to tell the story of the Ethiopian Jewish community. Unfortunately, in Israel, we have, and this is a blessing, we have Jews from all over the world, right? We have Jews from India, we have Jews from Yemen, we have Jews from Morocco. But the main problem is that we don't know each other. I don't know enough about the Jews from India. The Jews from India don't know enough about the Jews from Morocco. The Jews from Morocco don't know enough about the Jews from Ethiopia. So when you don't know someone, you start to have prejudices and negative things about him. And from my little place, I'm trying to take the lovely story of my community and to bring it to the forefront in the Israeli society, because I truly believe the more we will know each other, the more we will create a better society and a stronger Israel.
I couldn't agree with you more. We started Atlanta Israel Coalition for the same reason, to try to unite, because we have, I know it's surprising, we also have issues in the United States.
Yeah, well, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I said it's everywhere. We have problems everywhere, but you know, we have to take care of our own place, and my place is here, is Israel. You know.
Right. So, is the holiday an official Israeli holiday now on the book?
Yeah. So it's became official in 2008, and we have ceremonies all over the country. The main event is in Jerusalem, in Armon HaNatziv, alongside the President of Israel and the Prime Minister of Israel. But every municipality is making an event in her own city. So it's everywhere. It's in schools, and you can take a day off from work if you want to. They will release you from the army if you want to celebrate that holiday. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Because you see, as I said before, the people that live here in Israel came from lots of different places, and everyone brought something unique with him. For example, the Jews from Morocco brought the Mamuna, which is also a holiday that, you know, it's for everyone. So we want to feel that this is not only our holiday, it's everyone. It's belong to everyone.
Beautiful. Is there any special ceremonies? You said there's a big celebration in Jerusalem. What would that look like? Is there dancing, food, singing?
Wow. Word cannot express what's happening there. It's amazing. If you are a spiritual person, then you will feel that you are close to heaven. You know, it's like you see all the cases from all over the country, you know, on the main stage with their umbrella, with their songs. You know, the Ethiopian Jewish community have an ancient language that we do the service with. It's the language of Ge'ez. It's very close to how people used to speak in during the time of the first temple. And the only one that speak that language is the Kesim. And they singing with that language, with drum. And you can see the view behind the view of Jerusalem. And you see little kids playing, everyone dressing with white. It's like a very spiritual day, and really words cannot express. And for all the people that listening to us right now, if they are planning on coming to Israel, make sure you're coming on November so that you will be able to celebrate holiday, the Sigd holiday with us in Jerusalem.
Is there anywhere you know that's live streaming it so we can join you?
Well, this year it will not happen, unfortunately, because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I mean, people going with their, you know, cell phones and showing it on live on Facebook. Next year, I promise you, I will share with you and with the audience the Sigd from holiday. It's a promise.
We definitely look forward to that. Thank you. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
So you said that if you were in the military, you could be excused to celebrate the holiday?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere else in the world besides Ethiopia and Israel that this holiday is celebrated?
Well, no, it's only in Israel. But I can tell you that, for example, in New York City, we have about 300 Ethiopian Jews, Israelis that left Israel after the dream. You know, America, it's the land of opportunities, so they say. And those Ethiopian Israelis flew to America to try their, you know, their best. And in New York, we have 300 Ethiopian Israelis that do celebrate the holiday in New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Is there a significance to the umbrellas?
Well, the umbrellas, yeah, there is. In Ethiopia, when the umbrellas, by the way, it's with a lot of different colors, right? So when the case used to come from far away to the village, then the whole people in the village will know from the umbrella that the case is coming.
Oh, neat.
You know, so the umbrella is something to show that a very important person is coming. And the cases are very important people for us.
Do you have any photos or anything you could share with us from the holiday?
Well, I can share.
We're going to be opening up to questions towards the end, and I'm sure you'll get some questions about it. But if you have anything, that would be fantastic.
Hold on. So you can see here, that's an explanation of the Sigd, but this is the casing. This is how they look with the white in their head. And by the way, this case specifically is from my own city, from Beersheba. So yeah, that's the Sigd.
Wow. Do the designs represent anything? The jackets?
Well, the design, I guess, it's not, but it's again, it's something unique only for the Kesim. You will not see someone from the Ethiopian Jewish community dressed like that, you know? So whenever you see someone like this, you know that guy is a Kes. So you have to respect him.
And does Kesim mean rabbi? Is it sort of similar figure?
So in it, by the way, the reason why we kept Judaism for more than 2,500 years in the diaspora is because of the Kesim. The Kesim was responsible for almost everything in our daily life, from doing Brit Milah to wedding, to funerals, to teaching the Torah. Everything is because of them. They are the one responsible for us keeping Judaism. And trust me, in Ethiopia, over the years, Ethiopia became a Christianity. Christianity came into Ethiopia in the 4th century. And over the years, lots of kings and queens wanted to convert the Ethiopian Jewish community into Christianity. Is because of the Kesim that we keep Judaism.
That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned your family coming to Israel when you were very young. You were a year old, correct?
I was 1 year old when I came, yes.
How did they come in a way like the Dead Sea diving resort? Like how did they end up moving there?
So in this movie, you have in the left side my mother and 2 of my sisters. In the middle, you have my late father. And in the right, you have my brothers, some of them. These pictures were taken in Ethiopia before I was born. The first Jew to do the journey from Ethiopia to Sudan was my late brother, Herut Aklum. He was the first Jew to do the journey from Ethiopia to Sudan. He was the wanted man in Ethiopia, so he had to escape from Ethiopia to Sudan. My brother worked with the Mossad in 1977. There was a deal between Ethiopia and Israel in the 70s. Israel gave weapon and advice to Ethiopia, and in return, Ethiopia was supposed to send thousands of Ethiopian Jews back to Israel. Unfortunately, this deal didn't work out in the end, and my brother became a wanted man in his own country, so he had to escape. He escaped, walked more than 300 miles in the desert from Ethiopia to Sudan, and then he did a pilot on his own family. My family, when we started the journey, we were a pilot because my brother wanted to check if Jews can come from Ethiopia to Sudan the way he did. And from Sudan, he will be able to bring the Mossad people to take them out. Then all the Ethiopian Jews will be able to fulfill their dream. So this is why I said at the beginning, we were among the first group to do the journey from Ethiopia to Sudan. I was 6 months old when my family started this journey. We walked in the desert more than 2 months.
Oh my goodness.
Think about me. I'm a baby, 6 months old. Think about my parents, they were old. And we left everything behind. We left our house, our land, our properties, almost everything behind. And no one promised us that in the end we will make it to Jerusalem. But we saw an opportunity. And when that opportunity came, we went to the unknown. But thank God we are here today.
Wow. So you basically went, and then when you got to Israel, I know you don't remember it, but does your family talk about how, they integrated? Was there help from the government? Did you find housing? Like, how does that even work? Were they speaking Hebrew already?
So my brother spoke because my brother was a person that studied in school and was a very important person in Ethiopia. But my parents came, they were old. My father was about 60 years old. My mother was 50. And they coming to a new country. They don't speak Hebrew. It's a Western world. They're coming from third world country. And it's like something different, something really, really different. So the beginning was not easy, was not easy at all for my father, for my mother. But for them, it was a blessing to know that in their time, in their generation, they fulfilled that dream, even though it was very hard for them. My father, for example, was rely on the government, money from the government. The government gave us a house and it didn't work. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted new shoes as a kid. My father were not able to provide me new shoes. So it was tough, but in the same time, we feel blessed that in our time, in our generation, we are the generation that fulfilled that dream. But yeah, the beginning was not easy. I can tell you that my neighborhood was a neighborhood that had about 90% Ethiopian Jews. The school that I went had the same amount, 90% Ethiopian Jews. It means that when you wake up in the morning and go to school, and from school you go back to your home, all you see is your community. As a kid, I had identities problem. In one hand, I'm a proud Jew, proud Israeli, but when I was a kid, I didn't like the color of my skin because from time to time, people used to call us different names, Negro Samba and things like that. So I was like asking God as a kid, God, why did you brought me to this world as a black man if it's not easy to be a black man in a country that her vast majority is white, even though we live among our brothers and sisters? Plus, when you put a lot of people from low economic status in one neighborhood, you will eventually create a neighborhood that will have drugs, alcohol, violence, and crime. And this is the neighborhood that I grew up into. So it was not easy.
So has things changed?
Well, yeah, things change about my identity. For example, 11 years ago, I did something that changed my life. I went back for the first time to a roots trip back to Ethiopia, the country that I always felt, Ethiopia, third world, Africa, jungle, blah, blah, blah. And I saw a beautiful country with beautiful culture and beautiful people. I went back to the village that I was born. I saw friends of my family. The non-Jews in our village told me about the lovely Jewish community that used to live there. From that trip, I came back a different person. I came back even more proud Jew, because to go there, to the northern side of Ethiopia, to the village that you were born, and to see the place that your parents kept Judaism there, you immediately became even more proud Jew. I became proud Israeli, because when you see the condition of how your family lived in Ethiopia, and now you are in Israel, and you really appreciate Israel. But one more thing, I came back a proud black man. Black is beautiful. And this is me, Naftali Aklum. I'm Jewish, I'm an Israeli, and I'm a black man. And when you take all these little identities within you and you create one strong identity, you know you're worth something. And Cheryl, people will look at you the way you see yourself. If you see yourself weak, people will see you as weak. But if you know who you are proud of your legacy, of your history, of your color, of your nationality, of your religious, then people will see that. So today, I call myself, I'm a special man. I'm Jewish, I'm Israeli, and I'm a black man. I'm special. So yeah, things change, really change.
Is there anywhere else in the world you'd want to live?
No, no. This is my country, you know. This is my country. And when my work will over in this world, I want to be buried here. You know, my family, my parents, I lost my grandfather in Sudan. We lost so many good people on the way for us to be here. And I spoke earlier about the 300 Ethiopian Israelis that in New York. It makes me sad. It makes me sad to see young Ethiopian Israelis leaving this country to another country. Even though I like America, I think it's a great country, but this is our country, you know? And when my work will over, I want my grandchildren, my grandchildren to be here and no other place, just here.
It's beautiful. We have quite a few questions from the audience.
Yeah.
So if it's okay with you, I'm going to read a few. I'm taking a class in Jewish music history. To what extent are the Jews of Ethiopian descent maintaining their musical and liturgical traditions, or are they disappearing as the Ethiopian community assimilates to the larger Israeli culture?
So can you repeat that question, please?
Basically, I think she's asking if the Ethiopian people who are Ethiopian have maintained their musical traditions, or as you assimilate into the culture of Israel, do you just start listening to Israeli music and, you know?
We have them both. We have music or musician from our community that keep the music that we did in Ethiopia, you know, with the same instrument, with the same, exactly the way we did it in Ethiopia. At the same time, we know that we are in Israel and we have to move forward as well. And you have young Ethiopian Israelis that making rap with Hebrew, and you have Ethiopian Israelis that making reggae in Hebrew. So we have the new and we have the old, and we are trying to combine, because a man without the knowledge of his past origin, it's like a tree without roots. So we have to remember the past, but in the same time to look at the future. So we have that in music. We have that not only with music, with art, with painting, with everything.
But the holiday on Monday.
The holiday on Monday. Yeah.
The next question is, that's very sweet of them. The Rams for Israel at the Weber School want to thank AIC and our speaker for educating us about Sigd. Are there any other ethnic groups in Ethiopia who celebrate the holiday, or is this strictly a Jewish one?
No, it's strictly a Jewish one. Strictly, only the Jews celebrated and still celebrating this holiday. You don't have any other community in Ethiopia that celebrated that holiday. Strictly only the Jews.
And next is, can you talk more about the ancient Jewish kingdom in Ethiopia?
So yeah, I don't know if you guys know, but in the 12th century, we had an emperor of Jews in Ethiopia. We controlled Ethiopia for about 200 years. And we had the Gideonim, who were the kings. And one very important queen from that period of time is Queen Judith, Malka Yehudit. She was the one that fought against the Aksum Empire. And I don't know, and it's something that needs to be checked, but I think the only Jewish community that controlled her own country was us, the Ethiopian Jews. But I need to check that. I'm not sure, but I am not familiar with any other Jewish community outside of Israel that control her own country. But in Ethiopia, we controlled for more than 200 years Ethiopia.
Wow. Next is Shabbat Shalom, dear Naftali. So moving to know about the history of the Jewish people in Ethiopia. Wonderful that you and your dear family and lots of your people are now in Israel. Okay, so this is more of like a lovely prayer for you, not so much a question. Next one is, how are those in the community facing injustice and prejudices in Israel? I find it very sad, as well as those who are Jewish in the USA who discriminate against others. Well, can I say something first?
Yeah.
I think discrimination happens all over the world, and to say it's a Jewish thing or an Israeli thing is really inappropriate. And I'll let you answer from that.
Yeah, so one of the challenges that we are still facing today within the Israeli society is, yes, from time to time, we, the Ethiopian Jewish community, do suffer from racism, discrimination, and unfortunately, police brutality. It's not, it's a worldwide problem, and it didn't skip our own country. And one of the reasons is because we don't know each other. As I mentioned before, we don't know each other. And unfortunately, within the society here in Israel, we do have racist people. I don't have any problems with the government. The government is doing almost everything in her power to support and to move forward the Ethiopian Jewish community. But within the society, we do have people that are racist. And this is, again, why I created my social venture Project Heroes. I truly believe that the more we will know each other, the more people will respect us, people will know us. And I'm not sure I will be able to delete racism, discrimination, anti-Semitism from this world, but we have to try to minimize it. And what you guys are doing there and what I'm doing here, you're fighting against, I believe, anti-Semitism in America. I fight against racism here and everywhere. And we are sure we will not delete that problem, but we have to try to minimize it. And this is what we both doing. Because I love my country, I love my society. And, you know, you don't have Ethiopian Israelis that decide, okay, oh, I don't like this country. I will go to another country. So yeah, we do have challenges and we are fighting against those challenges because this is our country. Right. And whenever you have problem, you have to stand up and fight for your right. And my way is to educate people. Through education, we can change almost everything.
I'm right there with you. And that's why I added unite to your mission there when you were talking, because really we should all be calling out racism, anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism, hate and intolerance of all kinds, regardless of where in the world it is. And that's why I said it was inappropriate to make it a Jewish or Israeli thing. We need to fight this all over the world together. We need to come together and unite.
Yeah, true. And I'm happy that we're doing what we're doing today, me and all the different organizations that support this event, because when you are trying to change the world by yourself alone, it will be hard. When you have people with you, organization that will go with you for that goal, then it's much more easier.
Exactly. And it doesn't make it the norm to behave that way. We need to call it out and show them that they're wrong. We are not wrong for protecting each other and standing by and supporting each other. It's wrong to hate.
True.
Period.
True.
So your
100%.
next question, because we still have a few for you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm here with you.
Thank you. What kind of issues have there been with assimilation into Israeli society? And what, as we American Jews, what can we do as American Jews to help?
So at the beginning, because it was very hard, the beginning here in Israel, one of the good things that the government did was, if you are an Ethiopian Israeli and you have matriculation certificate and you want to go to school and you want to go to a university or a college, then you don't have to pay for that. You just need motivation and you can go and study. So 20 years ago, it was very hard to find someone within the community that have a degree. And today, and I'm so proud, in every family you will find 2 or 3 or 4, because Ethiopian Jews are big families, you know, it's not 2 or 3. I'm the youngest of 12. So you will find lots of people that have a degree. And if we're speaking about men and women, so I'm telling you, Cheryl, the world in 10 years from now will belong to the women, because they are, even in my community, they are the ones that go to school, having degrees, making career. And I'm so happy, because when you go to school and you have a degree, you know, you are someone that everyone should look up. You know, you are someone that know that if you want to make a change in your life, if you want to leave the old neighborhood, it's all up to you. If you will go to school, there is a big chance you will find a good job. If you will find a good job, you will make a lot of money. If you will make a lot of money, you will be able to buy a house in a different neighborhood and to create a better future for your own family. And this is what's happening today. You will see a lot of young Ethiopian Israelis that living the old neighborhood and buying houses in different and very good neighborhood. So, you know, in my life, I'm always trying to see the good, not the bad. It's important to see the bad, because you want to see where to change and how to change. But be more focused on the good, because when you see good, you understand that there is hope. And one of the things that my community and young people within my community really need is hope. And we are trying to give them that hope, that it's all about them. If they will decide that they want to have a good life, there'll be good people on the way that will help them, but it's up to them.
Well, it's amazing that these opportunities are being presented. Free college.
Yeah, free college.
You come over with my family. So we have another question about someone who's visited Ethiopian communities a few years ago, including the remaining Beta Israel, and the Beta Abraham and Ketchet near Addis Ababa. Am I pronouncing that right?
Say, in Addis Ababa.
Yes. Thank you. Can you update us on whether this large Jewish community is now being included in immigration to Israel? Also, are Ethiopian Jews reaching out to other African Jews and inviting them to join your practice, as they are otherwise adopting Ashkenazic and Sephardic practices?
So today in Ethiopia, we have 7,500 Ethiopian Jews that still waiting in the camps in Gondar and in Addis Ababa to come to Israel. They are waiting much too long, more than 20 years in the camps in Ethiopia. 2 months ago or a month ago, the government decided that 2,000 Ethiopian Jews out of the 7,500 will come. I was very pleased and happy that the government decided that 2,000 Ethiopian Jews will come. But from some reason, I don't really understand the government. I don't understand why they don't bring all of them in one time. Why do we have to do it in groups? 2,000 here, 2,000 4 years from now. Why we can't bring all of them right now? And today we have a woman minister from our Ethiopian Jewish community. She is Plina Tamano-Shata. She is the Minister of Immigration and Aliyah. And we really hope that she started, 2,000 will come. And we really hope that she will put pressure on the government, on the Prime Minister, to bring them all once and for all, to finish that. What was the other question?
Also, are Ethiopian Jews reaching out to other African Jews and inviting them to join your practice, as they are otherwise adopting Ashkenazic and Sephardic practices?
So we, the Ethiopian Jews, practice. We belong to the Sephardim. Okay, about inviting other African communities, or I guess that we still have our own problems. You know, we still have those 7,500 Ethiopian Jews that didn't came. So we are not yet in a position to bring or to tell other African groups about Judaism, or to bring them into us, because we are still focused on our own problems, on our brothers and sisters that's still waiting to come in Addis and in Gondar.
Okay. Naftali, I am an Orthodox and Black Jewish man raising two young Black Jewish boys. The way you spoke about identity was beautiful. What resource do you believe are available to help children like mine who need to be proud of their Jewishness and their skin? Is the Ethiopian community a place for this?
What's his name?
Justin.
Justin, I'm gonna write you now my email address. I want you to write me an email, and I would like to do a Zoom call with your children.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
I'm just writing right now.
So if you want, I could pass your email on to him.
I just did it right now.
Okay. So Justin, I will reach out to you and get it to you. So this way, Naftali's email is not everywhere all over the internet.
I don't know, it's all right.
The next question is, where can we find info for, I guess he's looking for more info for the holidays.
Well, for the holidays, I believe that if they will write down Sigd on Google, they will see lots of information about the holidays. They will see and will be able to see videos from from Jerusalem. So just click on Google the Sigd holiday, and they will have all the details.
Okay. I'm just writing down his name to make sure I can get everything to you. Next question is, there's a rumor that the Ark is an Ethiopian church. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's bullshit.
We have kids on the line. We have our wonderful Weber students and others. So what I think you're saying is you don't believe it, is really what it comes down to it.
No, I don't believe it. The Ark of Covenant is not far from my village in Tigray. I was born in Tigray. The Ark of Covenant is in Aksum. Aksum is the city in Tigray that they say that the Ark of Covenant is there. I was there, and we're sorry about saying bullshit. I'm sorry about that, but I don't.
Just smooth it over.
I don't believe in that, really. I mean, no one ever saw that. Uh, and I, forgive my language. It's it's another way to bring more tourists to Aksum.
Okay. What can we do in Israel to help? I live in, is it Carmel?
All right. So what can you not only you but all the people that listen today? Um, I just gave a brief history about our community. There is lots of more to know and lots of information about this really beautiful, beautiful community. Um,
She says
what
that
I
there's a small Ethiopian community where she is.
say it again.
She said that there is a small Ethiopian community where she is
Where is it?
uh, in Israel. Uh, Carmel, Krmie.
Carmel.
Yeah.
Carmel. Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. I know the case over there, case Lavi. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful community there. Um, but what you can do is just spread the message. You've learned something today. Spread the message, and this is the most important thing. Uh, what I want from my listeners, it's not only to hear me and then go to sleep and that's it. I want them to deliver the message when they sit with their children or with their brothers and sisters in their own family, to spread the message. They will make it much more easy on us, who try to do good and to bring to the forefront the story of Israel or the story of the Ethiopian Jewish community.
Beautiful. Another question. We are seeing the widespread of the world changing extremely fast. Can you share some of the most sacred traditions that the Ethiopian Jews do that are important that I, as a Black Jew, can share with us here in America?
Doing what?
As some of the most sacred traditions that you do as an Ethiopian Jew. This holiday would be one of them, right? Like that this is a tradition.
This holiday, it's one of them, but not only this, the way we pray in Yom Kippur, it's totally different. And there is lots of things that's really different. And we truly believe that the way we practice Judaism, it's really one-on-one, the way Jews practice Judaism during the time of the first temple. We didn't change a lot. For example, I told before, we never had the oral Torah in Ethiopia. We had only the written Torah. So we kept Judaism originally the way it used to be in the first temple time. So we didn't change. But only here in Israel, of course, they told us that there is oral Torah, and we see the change. We see how, for example, the Kesim, our spiritual leaders, they don't really accept them in the rabbinate. They don't see them as spiritual leaders. And that's a very, sad thing, because as I said before, they were the one that because of them, we kept Judaism. So we see the change, and we trying to keep as much as we can what we did in Ethiopia, because this is the closest thing to what and how Jews kept Judaism during the period of the first temple.
That's it's beautiful. So the next question, I don't know that you could speak on behalf of like all Ethiopians. There's a person who is saying that she has a cousin who is white who married an Ethiopian man and wants to know if that's acceptable.
Well, in the beginning, we were only within our community. We married within our own community. It was very hard to find intermarriage. But I can tell you that now it's very hard to find single Ethiopian Jewish women because all the Ashkenaz is taking them.
Okay.
So I guess I'm happy because we are here. You know, it's not an issue of race. You know, and you can see a lot of mixed couple here today in Israel. My sister is married to a guy from India. I'm married to an Ethiopian Jewish woman, but you can see a lot of mixed couples, many mixed couples in Israel. It's not an issue. It's never been an issue. It's just that in the beginning it was much more easy to marry to someone who knows your culture, who understands you, who come from the same background. But today it's changed, you know. So you go to university, you see a beautiful lady, she's not from your community, but you have the same thought and you love each other. So you will marry her. And this is what's happening today. So it's not an issue. And it's good, it's not an issue.
And that leads us into our next question was, what is the level of Jewish observance in Ethiopian Jewish community? Degree of secular in the community.
So this changed also because our parents are very religious. They pray 3 times a day. They really keeping the Shabbat the way you don't believe. They keeping kosher. They doing everything. But we as new generation who almost were born here and lived here and grew up here, unfortunately, we are more secular. We are not like our parents. So you have a lot of young Ethiopian Israelis that became secular. Our parents, of course, still very religious. And but we have another thing that's happening. You can see a new movement of Ethiopian Haredim, which is something that is very new. You know, dressing black with the hat and all this, we have that as well. So it's something that, you know, we didn't have that, but it's happening. So you can see everything. You can see Haredim, you can see secular, but our parents are very religious.
I know in respect for your time and everyone else's, we're unfortunately running out of time, but I'm gonna mention the last comment. Someone wrote, I wish he didn't refer to that as intermarriage or mixed marriage. We are, and she put in caps, all Jewish people, one people. And I thought that was beautiful. So I want to share that. We are all Jewish people and we all are one people. So thank you so much.
Well, I agree with her. I agree with her. But we are different people as well. And there is nothing wrong with being different. I'm black, you are white. And you know, there is nothing wrong with that. We are all human beings in the end, but we are different.
Brothers and sisters.
I don't see the difference within you. That's why, you know, I can be from this, I can be in that color and I can marry another color. But we are all human beings. We are all Jews. Right. But I agree with her, and yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I'm so grateful you joined us today. And again, we couldn't do it without Herut and Larry. Larry, I know you're watching. Thank you. Naftali, it's been a pleasure having you, and I hope that we get to do more projects together in the future.
So Cheryl, thank you so much. And I would like to thank all the people that are participating in this event, and of course for all the organization that did what they did in order to create that event. If we have people in the audience that do want to know more about the Ethiopian Jews story, they can go to my website, jewsofethiopia.com. And if we have people in the audience that do want to support my project, Project Yerus, so I can send the link to my website and for donation to support Project Yerus. And once again, Sigd, Sameach, Shabbat Shalom, and may God bless us all.
Amen. I'm going to go over a few things with the audience. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you again to Herut and Larry Shepard and our wonderful promotional partners. We have some events coming up. Lee, if you could switch the slide, that would be terrific. We'll be doing a program on the 19th. We're partnering, doing foreign funding of universities, the problems that we're having with that. And then if you could switch the slide again. We're doing an amazing tour of the old city of Jerusalem this Hanukkah. Gonna light it up. So please join us for it. It will actually be on Hanukkah, and we'll see the official candle lighting and really have an opportunity to be there with our tour guide who will be answering all of your questions. We try to do all of our events for free, so including this one. So if you could contribute, that would be amazing. We have our Facebook group, follow us. We have Twitter, and we also would love volunteers. So if you're interested and you want to participate, we'd love to have you. Thank you, everybody.